Hey peeps, so I have a new journal to share with you today. It is different than what I've been doing, but that's what I want. I want to kind of mix it up and do different styles of journals. So I love this one. Just a couple of things. There is one teeny tiny mistake I did make. All the images either came from Pixby, The Bestie, or Free Printable from Pinterest. Okay, so I got all of that out. Yeah, so I had gutted a composition notebook a long time ago because I was going to make a journal with it. But I just never got around to it, and so I was looking for something, and I saw the gutted composition notebook, and I said, you know what, now's the time. So I gathered my haberdashery paper that I recently got. I wanted to use that paper on this because paper is just so beautiful. I could not bear to cut so much of the paper, so I wanted a big journal with this paper. So let's get started. I did cut down the composition notebook a little bit. I don't remember exactly how big it is, but it will be in a description of the Etsy listing. All right, so here we go. The cover, choosing a cover was the most difficult part because all the papers are so gorgeous, but I settled on this one with the dress form, and I have this beautiful black lace on the spine here. You guys know I love putting lace on the spine. And so this is what the back looks like. And I put some extra wide eyelets in the front and the back. And I threaded through some coffee dyed seam binding. And then there's this charm that I'm going to take off and show you because it'll be a lot easier. Okay, so here's the charm. It has a little scissor and a little ruler and this little flower that I think is supposed to be a pin cushion, and then it's a little spool of thread. I got this from Michael's the other day. When I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I need that. And then this little thing came from the Bestie. I totally forgot she sent me these, but they are so cool and they swivel. It's a swivel thing. I think she got these from Daiso. I wish she doesn't shop there a lot, but I wish we had a Daiso because I love this for hanging my journals. So thank you, Mouse. And so how I did the seam binding, I just threaded it. I just looped it and threaded it through so it can easily come out if you want to change it for something else. All right, so let's get inside. All right. Okay, so usually I have a pocket, but since I wanted to cover the spine of the inside spine of this notebook, I end up with a little tuck spot, and I just could not bear to cover this paper. It's so gorgeous. And I thought it would look kind of weird with a tuck spot. I mean, I could have glued this down, but I don't know. I just love it, and I don't want to cover it. So these cards, you'll see a few of these in here. These are from Prima's Stationer's Desk. That was my favorite Prima collection. Okay, second favorite because the lavender came out. So yeah, it was my favorite until the lavender collection came out. So yeah. So I have a lot of these cards and like scraps of the paper. But anyway, I did a little bit of stamping. I'm going to try to stay in frame here. It's a big book. I probably should have zoomed out a little bit. So here's a printable here, and I just backed all the printables with some cardstock and inked around the edges. Of course, every page is inked. So here's my little boo-boo. So when I was about to sew in the pages, I noticed that one of the pages, because it's a composition notebook, you know that the pages are attached. So when you take them out, you know, you have two that's attached. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but anyway, one had a split in the middle, so I was afraid it was going to totally just come apart. So just to save all the pages, just in case, even though that was the only one that was split, I washi taped all the pages, front and back, to make sure they were secure. I don't know if you could see that, but I washi taped it here, and then I washi taped it on the other side. And so when I was doing that, somehow this page got flipped upside down. So I don't know how that happened, but this is the only one that's like that. But it's not that big of a deal, but I just wanted to point it out. So some of the papers are like really, really dark, and some of them are light, and I just love it. So as you can see, I did some stamping, some chandeliers. I'm going to try to make sure I stay in frame. Oh, I did not say. So I have this little jar that I throw all my little scraps of lace and scraps of ribbon in. And so what I wanted to do with this is just pull some scraps of lace and just glue them on some of the pages. So let me just show you what it looks like on the spot, on the edges here. So it didn't matter if they were long or short, they are on the spine. So I love the way it looks, personally. So hopefully you like it too. All right, so let's get back in frame here. Let's see where I left off. I think here. So we have some stenciling on some of the papers. It's a little printable there. There's a little pocket here. It's actually a double pocket with the I was going to say Tim Holtz, with the Prima cards. Okay, so I did try to do a little bit of sewing in here, you guys. So I used the worst thing possible to try to sew. This little, I don't even know what this is, this little netting thing, I sewed, and the first time it was fine. It did a really good job, and then I thought I wanted to double it, you know, do another line of stitching. Oh, sorry guys, I forgot my phone was on and right here. Let's turn that down. Okay. So, yeah, my sewing machine wasn't having it, so it kept pulling the thread out. So I got up to here, and then it kind of gave up. So there's no stitching from here to here, but I think it's okay. Lesson learned. I won't do it again. So there's some stenciling here. I guess that's how you learn when you're a newbie, right? What your sewing machine will take and what it won't. So as you can see, there's some scraps of crocheted ribbon here. I love how dark this looks. And then you got this totally light color right here. I just love that. And then I use my Tim Holtz sewing room die, I believe that's what it's called. And I just backed it on some lightweight chipboard with the pattern paper. And then I left it open for a tuck spot here. So you have that little tuck spot. And then got a little bag here with a little lace. And then, oh, she goes this way. And then someone sent me these stamps a long time ago. But I never use them because it doesn't have, you know, the rubber mounting. So there's no way to stick it on a block or anything. So I had to just use the stamp with my hand. Oh no, you know what I did? I put a little adhesive on my block and tried to stamp it. And it came out okay. It came out all right. So that's that. That's why I never use those stamps, because I have no way to attach it to anything. So I did a lace pocket here. And There's a little dress form stamp here. Some more lace up there. And then this is I didn't even take anything out. This is a frame that you can slide a picture in. Let me leave it out just in case. And then I have this flower that someone sent me a long time ago. And then I just put that little Prima bling in the middle. So hopefully you can see that. Okay. Oh God, the kids woke up next door. I was trying to get this done before they started. And there's a heart-shaped, half of a heart-shaped doily right there. Oh, here they go. I did some stamping down here. And then this is Seven Gypsies dress form sticker. It's a tuck spot right here. Did a little bit of stamping here. Here's the other half of that heart-shaped doily. Some trim at the top. I did a belly band here. This is just a card I had in my stash that was coffee dyed. It's a little clock, not clock, a pocket watch stamp. Some crocheted lace. A bird cage stamp. It's the other side of the bag. I didn't put anything in this one. And here's my other attempt at sewing. Sewed around this little pocket. Came out not too bad, not too bad. And then there's it's a double pocket as well on this one. I tried to use up all the scraps with this paper. Wasn't a lot, thank goodness, because I did it so big. It's a butterfly stamp here. And then I have these little flourishes that I think the bestie sent me. And again, I didn't want to use up the scraps, so I just used my corner rounder on it. And then I just stamped the back so you can journal on them. So I did it on both of them. Like, I can't throw that out. I just can't. And then there's a little image here. Some more of those stamping. Some more lace. And this is just a coffee dyed envelope that I paper clipped on here. And there is a butterfly stencil. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. And inside is a card that I used the stencil on. So you can journal in there as well. Okay. Let's put that back on. Okay, and here is the spool and the button that comes from the sewing room die. I just glued them on here. I wrapped the spool with some sari silk. And I didn't leave it open, but it has a teeny tiny, so you can put something teeny tiny behind here if you want to. And some stamping here in the corners. Some more lace. Another image here. And then here's the back with the tuck spot and another dress form stamp. And I did stamp some lines on the back of this one. And that is it. So I hope you guys like this journal. I am definitely going to be doing some more of these altered composition notebooks. I really, really like working with these. And I have a few because I got a lot when school time came at Staples. I always try to grab up as many composition books as possible, so you'll be seeing a lot more of these type of journals coming from me. So thank you so much for watching. I will put the link to my Etsy listing down in the description below, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.